Alright, so currently the CFTC is having their little meeting on the position limits and the rule changes for the commodities and whatnot, namely silver and gold, especially silver. And there's no telling how it's going to end yet, other than I believe, as they said, out of the 5 commissioners, 3 of them should be voting yes to go ahead with the rule changes. The only issue now is going to be when they, if at the end of the day today or however soon from now, they go ahead and vote and say, okay, we passed it. When is it implemented? That's the key question. When does it have to be complied with by the industry giants like JP Morgan and friends? When we have that information, I think we'll know roughly when the manipulation should at least end in respect to at least the big players manipulating it. We will still have to worry about the CME group hiking margins again if it goes back up past $50. There would be no need for them to raise margin requirements again until we hit $50. Now, granted, they did it again at $40 after it already come down from 50 when they did the major hikes of like 5 different hikes in a very short amount of time, dropping it to 40. Well, actually 32, then 35, and went back to 40. Then when it hit the 42, 43 again, here they come out again with more margin increases. Why would they do more increases when we haven't even got back to the $50 range where they did a boatload of margin increases? Doesn't make sense. But again, it doesn't have to make sense. They just need an excuse to push the price down. And another thing again is that Bob Chapman seems to believe that JP Morgan is completely out of their short position, and from here on out we should see the manipulation kind of subside or whatever. Again, aside from the CME group, what they can do, I just don't know if I'm on that. And I mean, he is an expert, especially, you know, compared to me or other people. He's definitely an expert, but man, I don't think they're completely out yet, unless we hear the CFTC say, oh, next week the rule changes go into effect, or, you know, some soon time frame, you know, November 1st. Well, then, man, maybe old Bob Chapman was right. I tend to favor what is always expected from government, which is we pass the rule changes. When do they take effect? Oh, this time next year. This time next year? Yeah, it'll give industry a whole year to get into compliance. Oh. So then we have a whole year, basically, of potential manipulation for silver and gold and other commodities. If that's true, and I don't know, because they didn't say anything yet, they're still voting on it and talking about it right now. So, and again, if they vote yes, the point is, when are they going to implement it? When does it have to be? When do the people have to follow the rules? And if we hear that, you know, oh, the one for silver, specifically silver, that doesn't take effect till, you know, July of 2012. Well, honestly, then we can expect to see the market manipulated more. So, does that mean I'm just gonna, well, let me get out of my silver? No. This is what they want you to do. This is exactly what they want you to do. Imagine if you had to wait from right now, it's November, let's just call it November 1st. From November to November 2011 to November 2012, you had to wait an entire year and watch your silver, wherever you got in at. Man, it's even down a little bit more today. Oh, shoot, we hit 25. We're down 30 again, 25, 24. Oh, man. They know you're a sucker. They know you're a human being, and they know human beings don't have patience. They're going to make sure you run out of your patience and sell off by the time it really goes back the way it needs to go. But again, they may have already been doing that this whole time when they brought it from 50 to 40 to 30. And now that they have to comply with the CFTC soon, they've decided to give up. There's no way of knowing. We're not a fly on the wall to hear what the hell's going on behind closed doors. All I know is the future outlook of gold and silver is going to be fantastic. How we get there, ups and downs and this and that, is remain to be seen. The bottom line is we will get there. Again, all you have to do is look at the last 7, 8, 9, 10 years of history of precious metals. Then look at the US dollar, look at stocks, bonds, treasuries, everything that you can invest in. Oil as well. And did any of those for the last 7 to 10 years continually just go up and up and up, as good as silver and gold have, including the recent destruction of prices in precious metals? You can include that, and you'll still find out, wow, precious metals did fantastic. So if you just bought right now and you have to wait 2 to 3 years to see a fantastic return on your money, is it going to bother you if it goes down a little more over the next 4, 5, 6 months, 2 months, 1 month, whatever it ends up being. Is it really going to matter? No, because we didn't tell you to buy silver to make a quick buck. If you wanted to do that, you should have been playing the paper game, and of course you'd have probably got burnt anyways. That's neither here nor there. You stick with the physical, you keep stacking it. Every month you keep stacking more. Every month you keep stacking more. I'm actually banking on right now that they're going to crash it down even harder. I say banking on it, meaning all I'm saying is I'm not going to buy any more. I told you I met my goal twice. I set a second goal because prices were great again. Oh, I made another goal, bought some more. So my third goal right now is actually not really a goal unless something happens. And that thing that has to happen is they really crash down silver to, you know, 20 bucks or less or something. Then I go all in for the final time and do a phenomenal buyout at that point, or buy in on physical silver. But it doesn't matter that I bought, you know, 20 ounces at 40 something dollars. I bought another 50 or so at, I think, 34. I did a huge purchase, you know, when silver was 10 bucks. I'm happy. Now there's some people who may not be happy because they bought in at 40 or 35 or 47 or 48 when it was the high, or 49 of the high. It doesn't matter. If you didn't have silver at the time, good, great, you got some, now you have some in your possession. Hang on to it. And sit back and watch your investment go through the birth pains, so to speak, of them keeping the price down, only to skyrocket. The harder they keep it down, the more upside that's going to come. Absolutely guaranteed. Now I want to read you a couple of things today. One from Zero Hedge, and another one about Donald Trump accepting gold instead of money as down payment. Yeah. Top line bloodbath summary. Net revenues in investment banking were $781 million, 33% lower than the third quarter of 2010, and 46% lower than the second quarter of 2011. Net revenues in financial advisory were $523 million, up slightly from the third quarter of 2010. Net revenues in the firm's underwriting business were $258 million. I think this is in regards to Goldman Sachs mostly. Underwriting business were $258 million, 61% lower than the third quarter of 2010. Bottom line, he says at the end of this, so I'm going to have to read all of it. In a nutshell, for the first time and probably since the Lehman Brothers crisis, Goldman Sachs reported a massive loss in its prop trading division of $2.5 billion. Oh, well, wait a minute. Bank of America revenue's up today. Better than expected. Unexpectedly better. Yet again, they use the same accounting tricks that I just read you the other day that JP Morgan, I think, did too, to pump up this number on a piece of paper. That's nothing more than a number on a piece of paper. Kind of like the birth-death model of unemployment. So many people have died and so many births have taken place, therefore magically some X number of jobs were created. And we just buy that as if that's fact. Like, oh, okay, great. So someone wrote on this comment section on Zero Hedge a little prayer, actually. Our chairman who art at Goldman, blank fame be thy name. Thy rallies come, God's work be done, in the Dow as it is in the NASDAQ. Give us this day our daily gain, and forgive us for front running as we punish those who front run against us. And bring us not under indictment, but deliver us from regulators. For thine is thy cash flow and the power and the bonuses forever and ever. Amen. Now here's the other story from Donald Trump. Donald Trump has made an unusual business transaction by leasing space in Trump Tower in exchange for a payment in gold bullion instead of US dollars. A company, that company being Amex, by the way, is leasing on 40 Wall Street, once the world's tallest building, persuaded owner Donald Trump to accept gold bullion in payment instead of dollars. The company, Amex, is one of the country's largest sellers of precious metals. Let's see, 96.45 troy ounces, which is in exchange for 10,000 square feet in Trump Tower. The gold payment equates to about $176,000. Quote, pleased that Mr. Trump has agreed to accept gold as a deposit on this lease, and in doing so expresses his confidence in gold as a valuable long-term asset. APMEX announced that Donald Trump said, quote, "The Trump organization has always strived to be the gold standard." Listen to their buzzwords, as Lindsey Williams always says. "The legacy of gold as a precious commodity has transcended to become a viable currency and an accepted universal monetary standard." He added, "Central banks around the world are holding gold as a reserve asset. It is also a terrific, potentially lucrative diversifier in a portfolio, especially with such volatility in the stock market." Trump also made a statement saying, "It's a sad day when a large property owner," meaning himself, "starts accepting gold instead of the dollar, US dollar. The economy is bad and Obama's not protecting the dollar at all. If I do this, other people are going to start doing it, and maybe we'll see some changes." By the way, that's a webbot hit perfectly. Huh? What are you talking about? Yeah. Go read a couple reports ago, it may have even been in the very last report, where it said during this time frame we're in right now, this year, precious metals would have a new look by the outer people, whatever you want to call it, the mainstream point of view, etc. Even in the markets, online mentioning of it, news mentioning of it, etc., etc., etc. It would have a new outlook as its status against world currencies, or the world's currencies and stuff. And the dollar, you know, the dollar as the U.S. reserve, the U.S. dollar as a world's reserve currency. So we also have a webbot hit right there in your face. And as he said, if old Donald Trump starts doing it, you can bet other people are going to start doing it, because he's Trump, and he ain't no chump, son. So if an elitist like Trump just said that, and even used the world gold standard, hint, 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 central banks reserve gold, hint, 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 Ben Bernanke, is gold money? No, it's not. Then why do you precious little central banks stockpile it by the tons? Tradition. Tradition, that's it. Final answer? Yeah. Wrong. You lose, Bernanke. Although currently they're winning because they're keeping the fleece over the sheeple, over the eyes of the sheeple. So anyways, I want to share those two stories with you, and I'm waiting to see where silver goes. Like I said, if the big, all the signs pointing to the market crashing soon, you know, because the pilgrimage of the legatus meeting, whatever group meeting, so be it. It happened before. It makes sense. It looks like it could happen again. But at the same time, you can never underestimate the elite. Just when you think you've got them figured out based off of everything that you've just come to find out they did in the past, okay, here's another time they did it here, 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 and here. They got to do it again this time. Only to find out, wrong, not on your time, suckers. We're not going to let it happen this time. And maybe it'll be next month. Maybe it'll be 2 months. Maybe it'll be January 2012. There's no telling. That's also why I said don't play the paper game. Even though you may want to short these banks, right? And you have till the 11th of November if you followed that guy Paul Drogton's advice. Buy the 11 put option on, you know, this bank, that bank, etc. And but wait a minute, hold on. Markets, of course, silver's up 9 cents for some odd reason today. What? JP Morgan Chase up 40, or not Chase, I guess. Well, yeah, JP Morgan Chase up 4.45% today. Bank of America is up 7.8%. What? But all of the Asian stocks are down, except for the Hang Seng. And again, what is this on? This is based off of nonsense reporting out of Bank of America. And it's so funny to see this. It's just nonsense. It's just like, you know, hey, the grass blew over there. Markets rally. Hey, the grass blew over there. Markets tank. What do you mean the markets tanked? They rallied last time this happened. Same news. Well, yeah, but this time they tanked. And the news stories even says the first time markets Have a great day on Wall Street today. Markets rally up, you know, such and such percent on news that a piece of grass fell over. Oh, okay. Another month later, markets take a hard hit today. Hard hit today for what? What happened? Piece of grass fell over today. And then they give you a whole news story of why it fell, because the grass fell over today, why the market went down, because of a little piece of grass that fell over. And then you can say, well, wait a minute, it was just a month ago, literally a month ago. I remember it. They said the same story caused the market to go up before. Now it's going down. Let me go find that story, and you'll find that story, and you'll see it written a certain way to tell you that's why the market collapsed or rose. And then the next story, same exact story, but they changed the world. The market, it crashed because of this. You can't have it both ways. You can't crash. The market can't be down because of, you know, freaking piece of grass fell over today, and then the market, you know, it rallies one time and then crashes the next time on the same thing. It's just nonsense. Everyone's gonna get cleaned out. There's little ups, bigger down. Little ups, bigger down. Look at the prices of these bank stocks right now. They're not like up. They're up today. And it's a big movement up, but then they'll have a few short movements down that are bigger than the big movement up. So it's kind of like this: 3 steps down, 1, sometimes 2 steps up. 3, 4 steps down, 1, 2 steps up. And they make money on both sides, up, down, up, down, up, down, until they've crashed the thing. That's about the time when they're all out of the market. And of course, from what it appears, all the inside stock purchases and whatnot of the big guys has ceased and desisted, if that's accurate. I'm saying that here. But the bottom line is, keep stacking your silver. Everything I read to you, everything is completely 110% bullish for the prices of gold and silver, which means going up. End of discussion. How soon it's going to happen, I can't say for sure. Soon enough that you're not going to be bothered when it really happens. I can assure you that. So anyways, I got to run. Take care.